Good morning. I am so happy to be here in your presence. I've been listening to Abraham for months and months and months, and it has healed so much in my life. And I'm very grateful.
It's normal for you to feel good. We're glad you're back.
My next rocket is to go to England with you. I manifested a wonderful new interview with the job of my dreams. It went absolutely perfect. I knew I had the job. It was great. There's some time between when they can offer it to me. They told me that. And I had a second interview, a very casual one, and I was late. And I knew at the time that I should have paid attention to my feelings and just gone with the priority of having the interview. And it just went so wrong. And I thought, what am I doing to sabotage myself in something like this when I know so beautifully and so perfectly that this is the right and perfect situation? And I'm wondering, there are things that come along and this sort of disrupt me.
The thing that we want you to hear is that nothing comes along and disrupts you. Everything is a vibrational equivalent to what you got going on. So rather than saying that there's something outside or some unseen force or some reason for things turning out this way, instead just accept it as a mix of your energies. Everything is about a mix of your energies over which you have utter control. See, what it feels to us like that you're doing, and a lot of people do this, you have a little bit of this, well, if it's meant to be, it will be. And that's fine because law of attraction speaks to that. But when we say if it's meant to be, what we mean, given the vibrational attitude that you got going on, the law of attraction is accommodating you within the limitations of your vibrational attitude. In other words, people will say, oh, well, the reason that didn't come along is because there's something so much better in the offing. And we say a more accurate way of saying that would be the better thing would be there now if you didn't have screwy stuff going on in your vibration. But then, as we said to our friend earlier, so what if you got screwy stuff going on in your vibration? Just give yourself a break as best you can and turn and go with the flow. So rather than saying, oh, there must be something wrong with this job or wrong with me because it didn't turn out and I was inspired to do something so stupid as to be wrong for an interview. Instead, give yourself a break and say, I feel good about this job and I know they feel good about me and I know things are unfolding for me and I did the best that I could do, and maybe if I had it to do over again, I would do it differently, but what is the big hairy deal? Why am I making such a big thing about this? Why not just give myself the benefit of the doubt? I'm very well-meaning. I'm a very punctual person. This is really an anomaly for me to not be on time. This shouldn't be a big factor. Maybe I've got some hesitation in my vibration. Maybe it's some of the fear of the unknown. That's perfectly natural under these conditions. Nothing has gone wrong here. Everything is on track. I love what I see with this job. I'm not committing to a marriage. I'm not committing to a long-term contract. I'm just saying, hey, I'd like to work for you. I think we'd make a pretty good match for now. I'm not saying that I'm going to be there forevermore. I'm just saying this is the next logical step along my way. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, there'll be something else right behind it. Why am I choosing to make such a big hairy deal out of something that doesn't matter at all? And in that attitude, you just turn and go with the flow. It's not like that everybody in the world doesn't understand being late. Jerry and Esther were at Salty's restaurant the other day for lunch, and as they were sitting at their table, they noticed that behind them was a table set up for about 30 people. And it looked to be a big deal. There were bottles of wine on the table and little place cards, and there was a man there who looked all expectant of people. And Jerry and Esther arrived, casually ate their lunch while they savored and breathed and basked and acknowledged the beauty of their life. And they completely received and finished their meal and paid the bill before the majority of people ever arrived at the table. And Jerry and Esther could not help but notice that almost everyone who arrived was not on time. There were 30 people set to be there. 6 of them never showed up at all, and most of them were later than 20 minutes beyond. In other words, they just kept trickling in. And one after the other explained that the traffic was tied up. 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 And Esther wanted to yell, were you all coming from the same direction? In other words, everybody had a legitimate excuse at explaining why they were late. And the man who was hosting the party, in no instant did he look impatient at all. It was as if a similar thing has sometime or other in his life happened to him. No heads rolled. No one was scolded. No one was fired on the spot. No one was frowned at. In other words, no big deal. So why do humans make big deals of little things? Because you're trying so hard to justify your existence in an attitude of not really expecting your well-being to flow. When you get it that you're good and that your well-being flows and you're late, you'll say, I was late. You won't say, I beg your forgiveness. You'll say, yes. I was late. I was late. Don't like to be late. Usually not late. I was late. When you get it who you are and you're sick, you'll say, I'm sick. Don't like being sick. Rather be well. And then you'll be well. But when you say, I'm sick. I'm sick. I wonder why I'm sick. I wonder how sick I really am. It feels bad, but it might be even worse than it feels. I think I'll compare my symptoms with others. In fact, I think I'll compare my symptoms with all others. I'll go to someone who compares symptoms. And I'll find out how sick, I'm sick, how sick I am. Or you can say, I'm sick, I don't like being sick, I prefer being well, I'm usually well, I'm mostly well, I'm hardly ever sick. Yes. Play up what you want and play down what you don't. And the way you play down what you don't want is playing up what you do want. And you cannot withdraw from a thought. You have to give your attention to something else. You cannot deactivate a thought, because the more you focus upon the thought that needs deactivating, the more active it becomes. So you deactivate that thought by activating that thought, you see.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Indeed. You didn't say, I'll go forth along with many others, and together we will find the one right religion, or the one right political party, or the one right way of living life, or the one right opinion about anything. You said, I'll go forth and I will experience exposure to variety, and from my perspective, I will choose. And you understood that the choosing that you would be doing is, I will give attention to a variety of subjects. And as I do that, by law of attraction, whatever I am giving my attention to will manifest in my experience at many levels of my being, cellularly, mentally, physically, emotionally. And as these experiences manifest within my experience, I will be able to know by how they feel as they manifest whether I like them or not. And you said, from your broader non-physical perspective, if I like them, I will continue my focus there, and if I don't, I won't. Therefore, I will be a perpetuator of that which, from my wise perspective, I consider to be good. Further, you knew that you were coming forth from a long heritage of knowing. In other words, you knew that from your broader non-physical perspective, you would know the appropriateness or inappropriateness of your participation with any thought. So as you began in your little physical body, when you found reason to love someone, you felt your alignment with source and your confirmation of the good choice of that thought. When you chose to hate someone or to fear someone, you felt the misalignment of that thought. Your guidance system worked from the moment you were born. However, as you spent more time socializing yourself among others, you began, if you were like most humans, to use other criteria to assist you in your choices, other criteria other than how it felt. Now, this was not a good idea, because when you use the criteria of how something feels, you are actually utilizing the guidance that you were born with. So this is the way this wonderful cycle of eternal life works. You are source energy and you're projecting pure positive energy. What a magnificent flow that is. And then you flow into this physical body where you expose yourself to contrast, and from that contrast you, source, become clearer and clearer about what you prefer, and those preferences move out of you like rockets of desire, and source energy moves right to where that rocket is pointed every single time, and not only says, oh yes, later on you can have it. Source says the larger part of you bees it in the moment of your conception of it. How about that? How about that? So you know what you have accommodated? You have accommodated an expansion of the universe. You have done exactly as you knew you would be as source energy. You've exposed yourself to variety, and you have moved forward, and the larger part of you is exalted in that motion forward and is living it fully. This seminar is about what are you doing in relationship to that. Are you going with the wellness, or are you beating the drum of sickness? Are you going with the prosperity, or are you still explaining why it is you don't have enough money? Are you going with the clarity? Did you go with the solution? Did you hear the answer to your question? Or are you still beating the drum of the dilemma? Are you still in the confusion of not allowing yourself to go where the larger part of you has already gone? And so this workshop is lovingly called the art of allowing, but what it means is, are you allowing yourself to be that which the larger part of you has become? And if you are, oh, you feel so good. And if you're not, oh, you feel so bad. In other words, those feelings of frustration, those feelings of fear, those feelings that you describe with all kinds of negative labels, is what it feels like to you when you let there be too wide of a gap between where you are in terms of your thinking and your vibration, and where source is in terms of the evolution of your being. So we just want to say to you in really clear terms, you cannot not allow yourself to go with the flow of who life has caused you to become and ever feel good. If you try to hold yourself back from what life has caused you to prefer or conclude, or more accurately stated, become, you cause, separation is too strong of a word, but you cause enough vibrational variance in the vibration of your being that you don't feel good. And that, friends, is the basis of your guidance system. If you let yourself go with what life has caused you to become, you feel yourself riding the current of that. So when we begin a gathering like this and we ask our favorite question of all, are you among those rare humans who are appreciating the new desire that is yet not manifested? What we're really asking is, are you understanding the perfection of this current or flow or wave? Are you understanding that you are an eternally evolving being, and that life will continue to cause you to ask for more, and that the larger part of you will instantly become what you are asking for, and you must, if you are to feel good, keep up to speed with that? And so, while we have enjoyed so much calling this the art of allowing, We're wanting you to begin to integrate into your consciousness an awareness of this flow, an awareness of this inevitable flow of expansion, that if you allow yourself to ride the current of it, you have a wonderful time. And if you don't, not so much fun.